In the last episode, we saw how the Christmas grace of 1886 transformed Thérèse's heart, preparing her for her vocation. Now we turn to one of the boldest decisions of her life. At just 15 years old, she resolved to enter the Carmelite convent in Lisieux, a choice that shocked many because of her age, but revealed her total determination to belong to Christ. Thérèse had felt the call of Carmel for years, but after the Christmas grace, her desire became unstoppable. She begged her father Louis for permission, and although he loved her deeply, he recognized her calling and gave his blessing. Some in her family thought she was too young and too fragile for the strict Carmelite life. Even the local superior hesitated, telling her she was still a child. But Thérèse's determination was unshakable. She insisted that God himself was calling her and that she could not wait. In fact, she was so determined that on a family pilgrimage to Rome, she dared to break protocol during an audience with Pope Leo XIII. Kneeling before him, she asked for permission to enter Carmel despite her age. The guards tried to move her along, but she held fast, and the Pope gently told her to trust and wait for God's timing. Not long after, her perseverance was rewarded. In 1888, just after her 10th birthday, Thérèse entered the Carmel of Lisieux. From the outside, life in the convent seemed uneventful. Carmel was a place of silence, prayer, fasting, and hard manual labor. There were no grand missions, no travels, no preaching. Thérèse was given simple tasks like laundry, sweeping, and working in the sacristy. But it was precisely in these small, hidden acts that her holiness began to shine. What made Thérèse extraordinary was not what she did, but how she did it. Every task, no matter how small, was offered with love. If another sister irritated her, she smiled instead of complaining. If the work was hard, she offered it to Jesus as a hidden sacrifice. When she felt no consolation in prayer, she remained faithful, trusting that love was not about feelings, but about fidelity. This is where her little way began to take shape. She realized that not everyone is called to heroic deeds that make history. Instead, the vast majority of us are called to love in the hidden and ordinary moments of life. She once said that picking up a pin from the floor with love can save a soul. In Carmel, she lived this truth every day, but her hidden life was not without struggles. Thérèse experienced dryness in prayer, moments of misunderstanding from her sisters, and even spiritual darkness. Yet she never let these struggles define her. She embraced them as opportunities to deepen her trust in God. Her life shows us that holiness is not the absence of suffering, but the ability to turn suffering into love. What makes this stage of Thérèse's life so inspiring is precisely its ordinariness. Behind the convent walls, she appeared to be just another nun living a quiet routine. But in reality, she was transforming every moment into an act of love, building a path to holiness that the Church would one day recognize as one of the most powerful spiritual teachings of all time. Thérèse's hidden life in Carmel is a reminder to us. We may not be called to preach to crowds or perform miracles, but we are all called to love in the hidden corners of our daily lives. The dishes we wash, the work we do, the patience we show to others, all of these can become offerings to God if we live them with love. Before we finish, let me leave you with this challenge. Look at your own daily routine. What small act can you transform into an offering of love today? That is how the little way begins. If this message inspired you, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it so that more people can discover the beauty of holiness in ordinary life. And don't miss the next episode, where we will enter into the heart of Thérèse's teaching, her famous little way of love and trust.